and of chatting to Jabu in terms of his 7 C's of high performance. I am loving listening to him, and I'm loving getting my head around all of the 7 and thinking how beautifully he cascaded them and started off with that confidence one, Jabu. But before we go into the 7, please just tell us, how did you come up with these brilliant 7 C's of high performance?
Tough situations.
Your own tough situations.
My own tough situations. I mean, of course, also being a pastor for some time.
Yes.
I noted that a lot of times it's not that people don't always know what to do, but they doubt how to do what they know.
Okay.
And they doubt whether they should get it done. And especially when situations come your way that have certain levels of complexity that you're not used to,
yes,
all of a sudden you start doubting yourself. Hence, I found that confidence actually is the key factor to at least, begin to do what you know you're supposed
yes,
to do, or what you can do.
Yes, okay. So confidence is the first one, and that really would be the cascade of how it all begins, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And I mean, do you have a little nugget you could share with us? I mean, what is Jabu's way when you are anxious and nervous of just boosting that confidence a little?
It's important to remind yourself of what you've done.
Okay. So that's self-remembering.
Yes. I call it collecting evidence on yourself.
Yes.
Have your own portfolio of evidence that you can refer to.
Lovely.
It's crucial to listen to people that give you positive feedback.
Yes, and many of us don't. That's a very good point, is that we actually just don't save that in our brains. We save in what we haven't done well, this inner dialogue, this critique that's going on, and we don't have all of those, the evidence, the portfolio of evidence Jabu is speaking about, and we don't save the compliments. It's just interesting. Obviously, different characters do it in different ways, and that's your next C. But it's interesting that some people just battle to hear compliments and battle to remember how they have been complimented.
And a crucial part of the reason why they do that is because of a lack of identity, which is another important component of confidence.
Right.
What do you know about yourself? What evidence have you got? What are people saying about you? Why is it that it's so easy for you to believe other things versus other things? So it's important to interrogate your own thoughts around what you believe about yourself and how you see yourself.
Yes.
And then start to say, well, I need to change that. And because in terms of what I know, what I've done, that's not true. In terms of people are telling me it's not true. So I need to then align my mind to the positive feedback that I've been getting.
That's it. I would say to people, actually, if you wanted to really save that positive feedback and that portfolio of data, as Jabu so beautifully explains, is journal. Do you often say to people, just journal at the end of the day? What has been the feedback you've got? What are the thoughts you've had about yourself? What could you think about differently? So just not even full sentences, phrases, little diagrams, whatever. It's just to do a brain dump in a journal at the end of the day.
Yeah, I actually believe in reflection. And reflection can be through journaling.
Yes.
It could actually be through you going through your own individual talk. It could actually even be you talking to somebody that you know that's close to you, where you feel safe.
Yes.
So have people around you that you can talk to about your own struggles, and then say to you, "Hey, Joni, come on, knock it off. That's not true.
They give
This
you
is what we know
perspective.
to be true." They can give you perspective.
Exactly.
And so it's crucial, especially, and a lot of those people would be the ones that are quite, that don't let you get away with mediocrity.
That's it. That's it. And actually, I think that's a brilliant idea. I've got what I call a golden tribe around me that give me a really good perspective. People who I take that hard feedback from, the brutal honesty, and I go, yo, that was tough to hear, but I'm so glad I heard that.
Yeah.
And also people who go, Joni, you've forgotten that you did X, Y, Z. So they really give you that wholehearted, I call it the 70,000 foot view, being in that helicopter, looking down and joining the dots. Because sometimes we, in the forest or we under the trees and we don't get that 70,000 foot view. So talking to people is a great way of reflecting. We're coming to the end of this part of the interview, Jabu. So I'd like to ask you the question, out of your 7 C's, which is the one that people battle with the most?
2.
Oh, 2.
Confidence, we've spoken about
Yes.
it. And a big part of that is because, again, we don't know who we are. And then we depend so much on people to tell us who we are. But that's proven, 85% it says in many researches that people struggle with confidence. But the other one is communication.
Okay.
Articulating
your first
ideas.
and your last.
The first and the last. communicating your ideas with clarity, with
Yes.
proper comprehension for the specific purpose that you are communicating for.
Yep.
But without confidence, it's difficult to do that. But also it's tough to be confident if you don't have an agenda, as I've mentioned, which is a clear direction for your life. Why are you doing the things you're doing? What are you trying to achieve? Who needs it? Why do they need it? What makes you the best person to deliver that? What do you need to do to become that person, to become the best person to deliver that?
Beautiful.
Without that agenda, it's very difficult then to articulate those ideas in a way that can connect to other people.
Yes, I'm
and
going to
that can be
cut
of
you short
service.
here in your communication so that we can have an ad break and come back, because communication is such a big topic. And I've loved the way that Jabu has bookended his 7 C's. So you start with confidence, and then the last C, and of course all the others, the 5 in between, are important. But let's delve more into this communication word. It's such a big topic. And let's look at some hows to be more effective.